Welcome back to HCH. We are here with another NFL video. Today we're doing a little thing called Stock Up and Stock Down. I brought three teams. Eric brought three teams who we think are going to have more wins than last season, so stock up, or less wins than last season, so stock down. We do have our paint can back today, if you remember, because I forgot to charge a mic, but hopefully we sound all right. But we will get right into it, and we will start with you, Eric, your first team for stock up or stock down.
Yeah, my first team is going to be stock down, and it's not because they're a bad team. I just think it's going to be really hard to replicate what they did last year in the Denver Broncos. They won 14 games last year. They were the 1 seed in the AFC. Obviously, that is a great win total. But this year, they're still very, very good. Not like they downgraded really. Just impossible to replicate, right? And now the Chargers are healthy. They have to play the NFC West, or they have to play the Seattle Seahawks, not the NFC West, sorry. But so their schedule, I think, is a little bit tougher this year. They won a lot of close games, a lot of ugly games with the defense, which I think will happen again. But 14 wins is a bit hefty for any team, any year. So
yeah, I agree. I think they're in a tough division by itself. You know, with Mahomes, with McDaniels and the Chargers. We know we're big on them. And last year, yeah, they won a lot of close games, and some people said they were also schedule merchants, like some other teams in the league. So I agree. This is going to be a team, I think, that comes back to earth but back to earth is like 10 or 9.
Yeah.
Like even 11 wins, but that is stock down. And this team, they got some new pieces, new fun. Jalen Waddle, I'm very curious to see what kind of role he's going to play for them. Maybe the offense is better than it was last year, but you know what you're getting from the defense when it comes to the Denver Broncos. But 14 wins, that is hard to replicate. I would agree that stock down, but I think they're going to be in the playoffs again.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. I think their defense is definitely going to still be very, very good. And it's just, like you said, it's impossible to go back-to-back years 14. Well, it's not impossible, but it's very hard to do.
Yeah, very hard to do. So. Well, I'll get right into one of mine. My first one, I'm going to stock up. I've talked about it before. It's the Tennessee Titans with Robert Saleh, Brian Daboll taking over. You got new weapons like Carnell Tate. Who else we got? Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm very excited just for the Titans. I think Cam Ward can take a huge step up this year. But it's really the coaching staff for me. Only 3 wins last year, so not a high bar to really go up from. But I'm pretty big on them. I think 6 wins is really realistic this year. That Cam Ward takes a huge step up. Daboll gets them rolling in the right direction. And I think we know we're going to get from the defense with Rob Saleh calling it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they fired their coach very early in the year last year. So last year was a complete mess. So things definitely changed a lot. New good things for Cam Ward. So I do agree. I think that 3 wins is a low bar, but I think that they are getting better. They did the right things in the offseason to get better, hiring Daboll and Saleh, like you said. So I agree. I think the Titans' stock up is very, very reasonable. So,
yeah, it's tough to say. It's a low bar, so I really hope that one hits. Yeah. But I think the Titans are going to take a huge step up. And I'm really excited to see Cam Ward, hopefully, in just a way better situation to show why he was the consensus first overall pick last year.
Yeah.
But we will go right back to you and another team that you have stock up or stock down.
I have another stock down in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Yeah. Probably, I think he announced his final season. They fired Mike. Well, no, sorry, they didn't fire Mike Tomlin. They mutually agreed to part ways. Now we have Mike McCarthy in the building, a regular season merchant, which is fitting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won 10 games last year, which was pretty good. Like they looked good at some times. Rodgers still had a little bit left in the tank. They were the Steelers. But I think with the Tomlin changeover to McCarthy, yes, McCarthy's a very winning coach in the regular season, but I think that the lack of talent on offense is going to hinder this team. Now, I know they got Michael Pittman, they have DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers was talking about how close him and Metcalf have gotten over the offseason. But I think that their division is tough with the Ravens and then the Bengals, hopefully healthy this year.
Hopefully healthy, yeah.
So that is barring that. So I don't think... I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they got swept in both of those division matchups, both games. So, obviously, you have the Browns to beat up on, but it's just hard to imagine the Steelers win 10 games this year with old man Rodgers and not a lot of firepower on offense. Sure, their defense will be fine enough, and the head coaching change from a guy who's been so good in the NFL for so long, like Mike Tomlin. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. If everybody watched when we did the AFC North, I think the Steelers are going to be terrible this year. I think Aaron Rodgers really has to hang them up. Not excited for Mike McCarthy at all. And I just feel like nothing about the Steelers really got better. They just changed a little bit in different aspects. Got older, if anything. I mean, I know you got Michael Pittman, but that doesn't really make me think they're going to be these offensive, juggernaut and they did lose Gainwell, who was a huge piece for Rodgers last year, which could come back to. I think they used him a lot. So who did they bring in though to be?
Rico.
Yeah, they brought in Rico Dowdle, who's not a receiving guy like that. But I do like Jalen Warren. He can receive the ball, so maybe it won't be that big of a deal. But either way, I think this team is going to be terrible this year. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to be healthy. I think Lamar is rejuvenated with Jesse Minter. So, like you said, I can see them losing 4 right there. And I always can see the Browns beating them once, too. For some reason, that will happen. And they also got to play Denver, Houston, Jacksonville. So, they do get to play the Panthers and the Bucks, the Saints. So, they get the NFC South, which is definitely an easier side. But I'm still riding with you that I think they are going to take a big step back this year. I'm thinking like 5 or 6 wins. I know you think a little more than that.
A little bit more. I think they'll still be like Steeler-ish, but I don't think 10 wins. 10 wins was actually kind of over-exceeding last year, to be honest with you.
I'm big stock down on them. But we will move on to, I have a team that is also stock down. If you watched our NFC South preview, I talked about this. I have the Buccaneers, who won 8 games last year. My main thing, I don't like Todd Bowles. I think he's a terrible head coach. I think Baker is the best quarterback in his division, so taking the stock down is a little risky with this division because you could, those games are always going to be winnable. But I just think this team did nothing to get crazy better. They lost Mike Evans, who was a key piece, I think, in the locker room, is going to play a huge difference. I'm excited for Emeka to step into a bigger role, Jalen McMillan to get some touches, but I think that the Saints have gotten better. I think the Falcons got better, and I think the Panthers are just getting better just with age, getting older more. So I think they're going to take a big step down this year, and I think this is going to be Todd Bowles last year as the head coach in Tampa Bay.
I agree with the Todd Bowles thing. I don't think he's the best head coach, but I do disagree. We have talked about this a little bit in our NFC South preview. Baker's on a prove-it deal. I'm going to put my faith in Baker to be pretty serviceable this year. I love Baker. I think he's very good, and I think as long as you have the best quarterback in the division, your chances of winning the division are much, much higher. And so I think the Buccaneers just kind of had a down year, hindered by injuries. So I would actually go on the other side. I think I'd be more stock up, but I do understand where you're coming from. The other teams in the division are progressing in a way that they kind of have not. But they still have Baker. So that's kind of what it is for me. I really like Baker. I think he's a very, very good quarterback, and I think him on a prove-it deal could be dangerous.
Yeah, one thing goes wrong with Baker, though. This team is terrible. Just one couple of weeks injury, the season's over. They are so dependent on Baker. And really the only reason we think they're good is because they're division. If they played in any other division, these guys I think we'd put to the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I'm excited to see Bucky Irvin back this year. I think he's going to be a key piece on offense. But the Todd Bowles, maybe I just want him out, so I'm just saying this. But also I think the Saints are going to be really good. I think Tyler Shuck is going to figure it out. I also really think Stefanski and the Falcons are going to be good. So I don't see them walking through this division like maybe people thought in the past. So I'm riding with stock down, and I'm riding with Todd Bowles. This is the last year he's a head coach in the NFL. But we each have one more. I will let you go. I believe you have a stock up for us for the last one.
My last one is a stock up, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. Coming off a 7-win season last year. They just got off to a really slow start. Their defense was perpetually terrible in the beginning of the year, but then they made some moves, and then they kind of just meshed a little bit better, getting Big Q in there. Quinn and Williams helped a lot. In the interior D-line, I think that they're going to be quite good. I think with CD healthy, Dak's been awesome the last few years. George Pickens obviously had a breakout season last year. Javonte Williams was healthy all year and was a workhorse for them. I think that drafting Caleb Downs is something I really, really like. You get probably one of the best players, if not the best player in the entire NFL draft. Playing safety, you can put him in the box, outside of the box. I mean, he does whatever. He just has a knack for finding the ball. They still have Deron Bland. They still have so many good players on defense. I think their defense is going to take a big step up from what it was, as we kind of saw later in the year last year. So that's why I'm up on the Cowboys. I know the division is tough, but I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the division. I don't see them winning 7 games. More realistically, I see them winning more 10, 11 games this season.
I would love for you to be wrong, but I have to agree. Last year, we know what we're going to get from their offense. They have weapons all over the place, even with CD being hurt last year, but their defense was a struggle, but they went out, made some big changes in defense, and yes, getting Caleb Downs maybe might be the steal of the draft, as he probably was the most pro-ready player in the whole draft, maybe people were saying. So getting him, especially where he fell to, I think the Cowboys are more than happy with that. He's going to play a big role, and they also got Rashad Gary, so they're just loading up, making that defense better. So I agree that they're going to be up there, 10 wins, 11 wins. I hope we're wrong. I'd love for the G-Men to beat them a couple times, but I think stock up for the Cowboys is very, very realistic. But we will get into the last one, and it is mine, and it's also a stock up. Maybe kind of obvious maybe for some people, but new head coach. I know Lamar had some injuries last year. It's the Baltimore Ravens, only 8 wins last year. I believe we both. No, I think you might have took the Bengals, but we were close. I took the Ravens to win that division. I think they're going to be around 11 to 12 wins. I think Lamar seems like he's ready to roll. New change of head coach. He looks rejuvenated to play some football at quarterback. Zay Flowers, my guy, getting a big deal. He's going to be ready to rock. I think the offense is going to look much better. I think the defense is going to be elite with Jesse Minter as their head coach, and I think they're going to be a 10, 11, 12 win team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that the 8 wins is more evident of Lamar not being healthy last year, although they were losing some games with Lamar. But I think once your season kind of gets derailed like that, then it's kind of hard to make a comeback. And when you come back and win games, you're all out of whack. So going into this year, he's healthy. I mean, we've seen what this team can do. They've been in an AFC championship before. They have had high hopes to win it all for multiple years now because of Lamar Jackson, a former 2-time MVP.
Yes.
So, I mean, absolutely. As long as he's on the field, this team could be very, very electric, very, very tough to beat. And I understand the loss of Harbaugh might hurt in some ways, but it's also nice to get a fresh face. Ravens fans were kind of happy because they kind of felt like it was the same thing over and over again. He just wasn't getting them over the hump that they needed to, although he did have them win a Super Bowl. But still, that was 12, 13 years ago now.
It's fatigue. I think the players, I think the fan base, they're excited for Mentor to come in, who had an awesome defense in LA. So I think they're excited. I think the players are excited. I think the Ravens are going to be a threat to maybe win the whole thing, but let's just see if they can get through the regular season first. But I'm thinking they're going to win that division, 11 or 12 wins, and so stock up for the Ravens.
Yeah, I completely agree with the defensive team, especially with Minter. Minter is very, very good. We saw what he did in Los Angeles. So coming over and getting the defense that the Ravens have had in prior years, it can be very, very dangerous.
Derwin James and Kyle Hamilton, who's just younger and pretty, just even big, he's just way bigger.
Way longer too.
Yeah,
so
way longer. But that is all we got for today. Just a little video of our stock up and stock down. Eric's got stock up for the Broncos. No, stock down for the Broncos and Steelers. Stock up for the Cowboys. I'm going stock up for the Titans and Ravens. And stock down for the Buccaneers. If you like this video, please drop a like. Subscribe to our account. We are over 300 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. Go follow our socials at HHSports_ on X, Instagram, and what else do we got? TikTok. Go check those out where we do our mini games. But that is all we got for today, and we'll see you Friday with a fantasy video. But until then, peace.